I love, and I'll tell you a guilty pleasure. I
Like,
love
wait,
listening to
I
his.
can't do it because I have normal functioning teeth.
Well, I just want to hear the skits. Like that's it. I just want to hear skits. Like, did you catch his skit earlier where he was pretending to be an evolutionist?
Well, the thing that you asked him was pretty interesting. I did catch because I went away for a little bit because like I just can't stand to listen to him. Like
Mm.
like baseball thinks of Nephie's voice when it's not trying to come too early. Is probably the best way that I can phrase that. Right? Like Ambien listens to Nephie to get to sleep.
That's sad. That's sad.
I do feel like a little awful saying that, but at the same time, it's so it's so fitting that it's hard to feel that bad about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's just like, oh my god. Neffy knows he's
Oh,
boring.
Crisper's asking, did you invite Nephie?
I'm about to.
Yeah, I figured Nephie
Yeah,
should have an opportunity.
he wasn't kidding. It's hard to.
So
It's like,
injecting myself was an interesting experience, I'll tell you. Because
I
I
don't
have
do
a
it.
fear of, I tell you, I have a horrible fear of needles.
I kind of got that from your description of what happened, and so I wasn't going to
I
say
have
anything.
I have a horrific fear of needles. That comes back to when I broke my wrist the first time. A no, not that command. Uh, when I broke my wrist the first time, I had a med student placing the IV, and when the med student placed the IV, he missed.
Uh-uh. Jeez.
And let me tell you, like that leaves a nasty bruise, and
Oh
it
yeah,
also scars you when you're in an insane amount of pain and you're 14 years old. And
dude.
so
Don't.
just so I had like flop sweat going, like not a lot, but she's like, you look nervous. I go, I just told you I have a fear of needles, and you're asking me to inject myself. Like,
I should laugh, but I'm sorry, dude. Once
no, it's really funny if it's not me, right? Like,
I
I can
used to.
laugh at myself. I'm not at Louis J. Gomez level of laughing at
No.
myself, where he's laughing at them mocking his mom injecting heroin.
This is why God took your mother early. I was like, oh shit. Like that is brutal, brutal. But yeah, like I told you, I used to give like the I was in charge of giving the vaccinations back in my troop, and one of the things that we have to be, I guess, not necessarily trained on, but one of the things we have to just be informed about are the really hyper masculine infantrymen who are definitely afraid of needles. And it's
Yeah,
weird.
that's the thing is I have no shame about admitting it. Like I'm just like, you know what, I'm fucking deathly afraid of needles. Like that's just a thing.
Yeah, but
I'm better now. I won't faint, you know, and I
oh
have
god,
now injected myself. So
at least you won't faint. Oh god. Also, okay, people are asking. Yes, Nephie's Hangout got porn bombed, uh, and it's unfortunate, but
Do
it
you know
did.
who did it so that we can all block them?
They came under sock. Whoever's making, I don't know if it's the same person, but they came in under a true empiricism sock, and their voice. They tried to do choose voice and didn't work. They came in under.
speaking
Hmm?
speaking of our friend True, how did you like all those pictures I kept texting you of
Oh god,
True's face?
I
He
showed.
looks so sad all the time.
I was looking. I was like, this picture is what like the Native Americans must have felt like when they figured out the white men stole their land. Like that's the look he had. I was like,
I
Jesus.
need to look back.
It does look, you know, and you'll know the one that I'm talking
Well,
about too.
briefly briefly relieved that, well, at least they have all the blankets, and then
Oh, Crisper.
Dark humor for the win.
I'm gonna open up this this Facebook window and screen share, and then comment on what each of these.
Oh
Oh,
god.
oh god.
Christopher, I gave you mods. Can you invite MP?
Because this was.
I can try.
I'm sorry. The looks that he had on his face, his hangout content wise was so boring.
Well, someone sent me
Um,
the timestamp where he randomly decides he wants to listen to my hangout where I'm telling the Sergeant Gibson story, and his whole I sent you the timestamp,
yeah,
and
yeah.
everything changed. Like he
He's
perked
he's
up.
he's contemplating why you don't love him in this one. This is the face you see before you're part of a Native American rape in Gary, Indiana. Oh, he's actually playing with his dog. Okay, he looks sad, even though he's playing with a furry animal. This one looks like you gave his tribe smallpox. Oh god. Oh boy. I feel so bad right now.
I
These
couldn't
these are
watch the whole
so
thing.
funny. Look look at that lip clench.
I feel bad.
Now he's praying that you love him. Now he has some hope. But now he finds out that hope was false. Look at that face.
He's in deep thought. Hey, MP, check Facebook, by the way. Okay, Hannah, I gotta keep running back and forth in here. Like, what was the point of that hangout? That's what I want to know.
This one's great. Look at his face.
This is after the white man stole our land.
I feel so bad. I do honestly feel bad for laughing at those images as much. It's sort of like have you heard of Dave Attell, the comedian?
Yeah, he used to have this show, Insomniac.
Yeah, he has a great joke, and it's from an album which kind of holds up. It doesn't necessarily, called Skanks for the Memories. And he goes, "You ever make fun of someone so much that you almost want to write them a thank you note for all the good times you've had?"
Sounds about right.
Yeah,
That sounds about right.
he has one of the funniest. He has one of the funniest jokes, which just would not fly. And he was talking about, he was at a bar, and he goes, "I was at a bar. I saw a girl with two black eyes. I thought, great, she doesn't listen." and, and then he says, he goes, "So we're back at my place, and we're doing it in the doggy style position. Not because I wanted to, but that's how she passed out." It would not fly nowadays.
No,
But the way
indeed.
he's one of the best joke writers.
But that's one of the great thing. Like when people mention great comics, they're not people don't remember Bill Cosby as a great comic. They remember him as Cliff Huxtable. They
He was
knew
a
he'd be
great
coming.
comic.
He what? But when people mention, like, well, I won't deny his skill, but like people gravitate towards like Richard Pryor more so than like almost, and let's say like a Lewis Black, and but even recently Dave Chappelle. And you think about what those guys have in common: really dark humor, incredibly offensive dark humor, because it's one of those things where they say what everyone's thinking, and then they make it 10 times funnier, and that's what's great about it.
Well, that was the whole point that Louis J. Gomez was making in that original clip of the Legion of Skanks that I sent you.
Yeah. Well, I agree with him.
He's like, "I'm a legitimate, loving father," and then they just launch into their impressions of him.
Yeah. His version of loving father.
Their impressions of him are absolutely hysterical.
Oh, but it was funny. He took it in stride, and you could tell that like they were accurate too. That was the funny thing. Like they weren't just making shit up. Oh shit! Oh, ah, gotta keep getting up. Hold on. Okay, is everybody in here? Hannah, everybody broadcasted?
Yes, yes.
Okay, let me give you mods.
I'm liking this spoken troll.
He's actually pretty funny.
Yeah. I like Spoken as a person.
Yeah, you could tell
An
like
he's an asshole, but like you could tell he's a cool guy. Like I'd get drinks with him.
yeah, and I've told him that. I was like, I met G-Man, but you seem a lot cooler and a lot less erratic. I
Oh
could,
god, I watched a bit of that Nephie Hangout. That was very foreseeable. Took
yeah,
absolutely no preventative measures whatsoever.
yeah.
I
Do you
don't
have
know
hair
how
on
you
your neck?
guys can listen to him for long periods of time.
You know
Is
what it is? When you're like mindlessly grinding on Warframe, just in Blades of Eidolion, just fucking mindlessly doing shit. Honestly, it's just white noise at that point.
well,
And then
that
I heard
makes
someone
sense.
pretending to be true empiricism, and then I thought, oh, this is gonna be interesting, and then it was like, oh fuck, it's actually not.
No, because when they came in, you heard that they were like trying to still get in voice, and I was like, no,
It was like fake nasaling, like nah. I'm like,
yeah.
okay, this is what the fuck.
Like the Darwin's deity one was close. It was close. I'll give him that. But like
MK?
Not bad.
it was
MK.
Yeah, you
yeah.
gotta chart like you gotta imagine that this is an old white man who has not gotten a blowjob in like 40 years. And then you
A
can
little bit of
begin to
repressed rage.
do yeah, I can't get my mind in that place.
Ugh.
Oh, I just, it was really, it was just, I don't know what words I can use to describe it that aren't bad enough. Uh, Creepy.
Just kind of
You know, he
like,
talks to himself. He talks to himself. He's like, you see,
hmm?
what these evolutionists fucking don't understand is clearly that this abstract it presents the factual information which I'm trying to relay to them why evolution is false. Ugh.
He was
Yeah,
I
saying
that's
got
the
that.
creeped
fucking
out.
Yeah.
thing. He can't internalize why it's important to read past an abstract.
Mm-mm.
He was saying some shit about like a particular fossil, the bones on the skull. It's like clearly this is an animal that has nothing to do and is definitely not supportive of evolution. As you can see by these particular bones, and then he named what the bones are called or something. This is what it's used for land dwelling, not ocean dwelling. You see, it's like what the fuck are you talking about? Like thank God it's white noise. I was like fading in and out.
Like if you actually take time to sit down, and if someone made a transcript, it would be just as incoherent as the rest of his fellow CCP members' nonsense. And that's why I was like, what, I'm not going to try and ambush him with anything like advanced or anything even remotely close. No, 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 no. I'm going to ask him some just very simple questions based on things that he said, and I want him to walk me through it. And that's it. Like if you take that approach to talking to Nephie, you'll see him kind of hesitate a lot. Like where if someone who knew the topic was asked this question, they wouldn't hesitate at all because it's not anything hard. But he digs himself holes.
You know the question, and this is something that he brought up that I'd like to hear answered. And this is something that actually a lot of them do. They always talk about the new features. It's just like I want to know what is the new feature you think evolution requires to come into existence from one generation to another, right? Like, can you name that and give me an example so that I have a clue what
Oh,
you're talking about? Because I don't think that exists.
it's quite obvious. It's impossible. That's what it is.
And he was talking about lungs too, and it's like there are fish that have lungs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
My
I heard that.
my fucking I was like, does he not know I have two betas over here? Like, I don't need to have that filter in there that's loud as hell. They can come up for air and they can take it in and they can go back under the fucking water. It's like other fish.
Yeah, I mean there are a lot of fish that can do that.
Does he know that?
Yeah, and does he know that there are fish that are amphibious. Like,
Mud skipper.
is he? I mean, is he aware of that one? I mean, who knows?
Yeah, I mean, we're asking if he's. I mean, again, it's one of those things where, like, do any of us think he's informed on anything, right? It's, I don't want to assume the worst, but with Nephie, it's just been proven that he does not read anything. Like, it's actually pretty remarkable.
He reads abstracts. That counts for something, right?
Do you really think he reads the abstracts in detail?
No, he
Okay.
doesn't. I do love that he admitted it now. Like he just reads abstracts because he used to not admit that years ago. So there's progress. There's definitely progress.
Oh, Jared, did you watch? I forgot to ask. Did you watch Jordan Peterson's little
When
sad puppy fest last night?
last night? Oh, okay, I
He's got the
watched.
cutest fucking dogs. Let me tell you. Holy shit.
Sam kept sending me these fucking screenshots,
What?
and I described most of them as "white man stole my land" looks. Because that's what they are. Like if you look, it's like this one is after white man stole our land. This is white man makes deal. Like this, all of them are just the looks of despair, and it's terrible. And I'm like, why? I'm not going to watch this because I went live a little bit after he went live because I had something to say and I didn't want to listen to him. But he, for some strange reason, in the middle of his hangout, it's around the hour and like 51-minute mark, I think. He turns on my broadcast, and I'm telling the Sergeant Gibson story for those of you who have. I told you about Sergeant Gibson already. Didn't I?
The dude who got his woman stolen right in front of him while they were
Yes.
at a swingers party, right?
Yes, I was just beginning the Sergeant Gibson story, and he just has this shit-eating grin on his face. Like his body posture changes. He perks up. He starts sticking his chest out a little bit, and I'm like, what the fuck?
That's how he's going to steal you from your wife.
Oh
Oh
god.
god.
That was just sorry. You looked it right into my ears, Drag.
Oh, I forgot. EO got him to admit that 1001 was a mistake. He blamed his phone and the atheist side of League of Reason. Yeah.
Always his fault. Like it's
thing,
always
right?
everyone else's fault, right?
Yeah.
Like there's nothing that makes you seem like an adult like not taking responsibility for your failings, you know?
Well, didn't he say the same thing for his website that looked like something from like the early 90s?
Yeah, someone joked about hacking it, and then because he didn't say anything. He would just say, "Oh well, Sam and Drag are just, they're just talking about. They're not talking about the content." That changed the second someone joked about hacking it, and then that turned into, "Oh, someone hacked it," and then they put all the misspellings and stuff. And I was like, "Really? Huh?"
That's the same thing when I joked that I could hack things, and then he's like, "Oh, clearly Hannah's hacking my internet connection," or some shit like that. Like,
yeah, well, no, Hannah, you're an incompetent woman until it's a bizarre form of sexism, right? Hannah is incompetent until it comes to doing them harm. So, Hannah, you're this weird idiot savant. God damn it, they're infecting me with stupid. You're this weird idiot savant that is just, supremely gifted in the trolling of these gentlemen. Like, how dare you? You're a Jezebel tearing their group apart.
It's like you know the premise for The Good Doctor? It's this guy with a disability, but he's only good at one thing, and that's at treating people medically. Everything else he's incapable. He can't tie his own shoes, he can't feed himself. Everything else he's absolutely incapable of doing. But the one thing he's good at, saving lives, he's fucking, superb at. That's exactly what they take me for at this point.
I'd take that. Why not, right? This is super fucking savant. Or what?
Hey,
that's like kind of weird though. You can't tie your shoes, but you can treat high medical diseases, and it's like
it's a really interesting premise. Apparently there's plenty of people like I don't know, someone who could play Bach's, like 6 quartet or something just by listening to it once. He was, but he can't. But he can't. But the kid is like, 24/7 under adult supervision because he just can't do anything else. It's just strange. Apparently, that's not a.
There are people like that out there that they cannot do anything else but like play piano really well or memorize.
Like true empiricism in the guitar.
Okay, I did not intend that.
Oh,
For the record,
that hurts me.
did not intend that.
I
But yes.
some weird shit that they're up to. Anyway, the true empiricism was like really. What was him mentioning all the fucking treaties, by the way? And he got half of them wrong.
Someone
Just
that
a
said
prima
something
facie.
about him mentioning the Constitution or something. I didn't hear that part.
Okay,
And instead of the Treaty of Tripoli, it was the Treaty of AAA.
yes, it was.
Wow. No.
It was
No.
really fucking weird. Me and
What?
somebody, I forgot who it was. It was EO or it was somebody else in his comment section. He made the claim that we recognized in a treaty to the Muslims that we are a Christian nation, and I'm like,
No, we
I
didn't.
don't remember. I don't remember exactly how it was worded, but we definitely didn't say that, right? So someone posted it word for word as it's written with the semicolon between two independent clauses, and he treated the semicolon as a comma. And he goes, "See, clearly it means that we are a Christian nation. We're just telling these Muslims that we're not gonna, support it 100% as far as being biased towards them." And me and this other kid were like, "It's a fucking semicolon. It means two independent clauses. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, you read it." Oh,
Wow.
it was some shit like that. It was fucking weird.
Wow.
Then
I
he
don't.
started naming random fucking, he was actually talking to people
In the
randomly
chat?
about, about two people in the chat about the First and Second Amendment, then
Yeah, he was
about some
like,
treaties.
they don't treat the Second Amendment. They don't teach the Second Amendment. They don't teach that part about it being in a well-armed militia. I'm like, who the fuck did you go to school?
What?
Yes, they
We
do.
literally last week went over the Second Amendment and how it may or may not relate to the Castle Doctrine here, and the difference. But like, what the hell? What? Come
I'm
on.
not kidding. He was legitimately all over the place, and I had to ask Sam and a few other people, like, what the fucking question is he answering? That it
Wow.
required like this pseudo historical dive to what the fuck the Constitution. He mentioned the Declaration of Independence and how it established certain laws and shit, and I'm like, no, that's not. That's the Declaration of
Wait, did
Independence
he
doesn't
really say
establish
that?
something to that effect. It was like, and I was just like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is the Constitution you're thinking of. Something like that. I mean, he just kept going on and on and on. If you were to ask whoever was in the chat, like, hey, do you remember what the question was that sprung all of this? I don't think that they would be able to justify why he went into this, like, stupid, in-depth historical analysis for some reason.
Headless Chicken. You were like the first person I sent an invite to, so.
So I was listening on and off. It was so bizarre. Oh, he's apparently he's gonna. What did he say, Sam? That he was gonna for the drags debate in January.
What?
He's gonna
I,
prepare a presentation for your
yeah, he's
debate.
going to actually prepare a presentation.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping for a guitar solo.
I don't understand. Yeah, he's still, is defending the fact that he did well against Drag and not Drag, excuse me,
Steve?
Steve and Redline.
In
Yeah.
what world did he do well?
I don't even know. And to be honest, like, Redline is not a part of like the philosophy circles or anything like that. But he successfully called him out on the God of the Gaps argument. I mean, it was really easy because he basically just subtract intelligent design, and it was exactly the same argument. I mean, it wasn't difficult in the slightest. He kept saying, no, there's no fallacies, there's nothing. He just had nothing else to say. Like, what fucking debate were you part of, man? What were you watching? What were you part of?
It is remarkable, right? Like,
He's convinced himself. There's no way at this point. Like, I think that he lies so often about how his performance is going. that he doesn't even bother to really go back and listen to himself and introspect. He's going back to try to misinterpret or, quote mine somebody just to make it seem as if he done better.
That's what Mr. Drag says about me. I lie to myself about my performance, and it's not what I think. So I guess I understand that part.
Oh, I took that in an entirely different context.
I know you were supposed to. Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. Just check. Fucking A,
Ah,
but it's so
jeez.
tough listening to him sometimes. I don't know why I still get notifications.
I stopped watching true empiricism videos a while ago, like at least a year and a half to 2 years ago. People tell me enough about the Hangout now, and I just rely on their interpretation. And I occasionally will go, and if it's just short video, if it's like 5 or 6 minutes long, I may go watch it. But other than that, it's hard because it's just like it's again. I'm not it's not disrespecting him. He's just monotone, and so there's no inflection or anything. So it's like okay, makes it
It's
difficult.
the weird thing about it is he demonstrates that he doesn't know what he's talking about. I mean, just the way that he's going back and forth on historical, treaties and what he thinks establishes the United States as a Christian nation it is just fucking weird. Like not even interesting. I mean, just plain fucking weird. And all of a sudden he's
But
going
it's,
around like, yeah, I debated all these people, and look, I won every single time. I don't need to flex any muscles when it comes to drag. I'll barely be paying
but
attention, and I'll still do well. Da da da. This bravado.
the problem is that there's two problems. Number one, he doesn't, like you said, I agree. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Like even with that whole Christian nation thing, if you do like 5 seconds worth of research, you can tell that that's not
Oh
even
God, you were
close to
watching
being
that?
true. No, I'm saying I'm hearing what you're saying now. I didn't watch his whole Christian. I watched some other video where he's sitting on the couch complaining about Dragnot and everybody else.
I ain't do
But the
nothing.
other thing, but the other thing I want to also say about True is that his whole intellectual giantism is really comes from him debating you guys, like somebody who has a PhD, because he can, where else is he going to really debate someone of any substance except here online? And he thinks, and just the fact that he's in the conversation, he's in the debate, gives him some credence. Look at the people who want to debate me. Look at the people who I talk to. I don't talk to the everyday guy because what I have to say is really important. And he's just not understanding that we're just doing this. This is not any type of formal win-loss structure. This is people just having conversations.
Yeah, you actually bring up a good point. Like this, and I try not to mention too much of my school because people say I do it too much. Like if I wanted to feel good about having people like with PhDs like me, I would talk about, my political science professor that offered me an opportunity to, or actually was more so an opportunity. It was a question uh, about why I don't go into law. And I was like, that's kind of strange, like right off the bat, because evidently to him, I was adept enough in the conversations in and outside of class that he felt that I had a strong enough, I guess, inclination for being a lawyer. I don't know, MP, if you got that feeling, but I don't see myself as a fucking lawyer. But like that to me, that kind of means something, you know. But
Listen, I wouldn't curse anybody with being a lawyer. This is a fucking. It's not. This is not an easy thing to do.
no, yeah, I see what. Yeah, if you're a public defender, what happens? So yeah, I was like, no, that's okay. But like the fact that I get invited to hang out with this guy's wife, and his or him and his family, like he's invited my family to eat out with them. And mind you, this guy came all the way from fucking Korea, and that to me means something. That having one of the advisors in the biology department, the guy who teaches the tissue culture class, invite me to his office just to bullshit because he wants to talk to me, like that means something to me. But like I don't I guess when he don't have opportunities like that in real life, this is all you can get, and this is what you boost your ego up with. I don't know.
The only thing that I wish I don't mind too much that he lies to himself. I mean, I guess to a certain degree that's not so strange. I mean, maybe we all do, but I just wish that he would recognize that the argument that he's running is so dated, is so, I don't know, fallacious in more ways than one, that he can do a Google search, a fucking Google search, and he can find an updated and at least more interesting argument to run. He just, for some reason, I don't know.
He's lazy though. Like you gotta realize it
I
from
don't know
that
if he's lazy
perspective.
though. I don't know if it's laziness. I think
It's
he's
intellectual
that.
laziness.
Maybe
No,
that. Okay.
I
I
think he really believes this shit. Like his arguments, he thinks that's convincing. You know, that should convince other people. That's how he is holding it. I don't think he can even think about anything else because he's so convinced that what he's saying is good that like, why, you know, and he says in his videos, why don't you guys understand? Do you see how easy this is? He doesn't really, even though you guys have told him multiple times where the arguments are flawed, he'll never understand it.
But it's not just us though. It's been other people in his own circles who have told him, "Listen, do a Google search," or "Hey, there is this glaring issue here," or maybe you weren't quite right there. It's happened. And for some reason, I don't know what I thought that would be it. That would be what it would take to get him to recognize, "Hey, okay, maybe I fucked up here." But no, even people who appeal to him so many times, he didn't even listen to. And people that he referenced didn't listen to. He didn't listen to them. So where at that point he's just so, I don't know, arrogant or deluded, or I mean you could come up with any sort of adjectives to describe the situation, but I don't know how many would be so accurate.
Well, he can't be arrogant because I'm the arrogant one. Don't forget that.
Listen, I think to a certain degree, this has been my personal opinion. I think he tries ridiculously hard to emulate you.
Really?
I honestly do. Like the patterns that I'm seeing it's not simply just deflection and bouncing off. Oh, he's gonna make fun of my mom. Let me make fun of his mom in return. The way he carries himself, the way that he talks to people, I see a lot of mimicry in the way that when you have that bravado and you're just like talking people up and you just don't give a shit, so you just say whatever that comes out to your mouth. Like,
That's just kind of how I am normally.
right. Well, he wasn't always like that. And before he'd be very, oh, okay, let me try to use as precise, quote unquote, precise language as possible, right? In his mind, it's precise. Obviously, to all of us, it doesn't make a lick of goddamn motherfucking sense. But then he started becoming more loose and then more, you know, arrogant in his own way, trying to obviously not curse because he can't do that. And did his own impersonation of what you do to him. And he's just been copying you. Everything you do, he does. Everything you say, he says. Everything. It's almost exactly the same. It's really strange.
That's funny. Now I'm going to be looking for that. Thank you.
No, honestly, watch it. If you insult him in a particular way, he's going to try to insult you in the same manner. If you watch the way that you respond to a particular video of his response video to you will be mirrored in as similar way as possible.
I think the difference is I don't have thin skin. Like he can make fun of me being a broke ass bitch all day long. I'm going to
I'm-
laugh.
I'm confused. When did Drag shittily play the guitar for 3 hours?
I didn't say it every
I'm
aspect
confused
of
too. When
life.
did Drag make $2,600 this week and go to Popeyes?
That was the thing
Hey
that I
man, that's
did.
that Popeye shit is gourmet, man. Watch what you say about Popeye.
No, I'm more concerned about the $2,600 he made.
What the fuck does he do? Isn't he like a phone sex operator, some shit like that? He's on the phone all day, right?
It's been shown what he does. We're not going to mention it because we're live.
I mean,
But no,
I'm going
He
with
does not
phone
mow
sex
lawns.
operator.
He doesn't do phone sex.
we
He's
know
not
where
He's not an underwear model.
we know where he lives. I don't think we need to talk any more about his life. Like,
Yeah.
we know. That's the thing, is we have the truth.
You gotta admit
And
though, his puppies are fucking cute as hell, Sam. Did you see them?
they're just fuzzy puppies. Like, I don't know.
He's
The
got
puppies in the
one
background.
majorly positive thing that we can all clearly identify, and that is his dogs are
hair.
fucking adorable. Okay, well, I wasn't gonna mention that, but all right, there you go. Our priorities are clearly different here. Okay.
Who's
Oh
fucking
fuck, who's
playing
playing
guitar right now?
I call this one "White Man Stole My Land."
I've got
What
gotta get-
the fuck?
I've got a guitar with an arm's reach that I haven't tuned in about a year and a half.
Please don't.
I can
please,
start.
Please don't.
No,
Please don't. Please don't.
you don't want me to
Please don't.
spend.
I have headphones on, and I don't want to be bleeding any more than I am. Please.
Drag.
Okay, I can't play your guitar.
Spend 20
Mostly-
minutes trying to tune it.
Mrs. Dragnot is taking Dragnot's guitar away.
It's her guitar.
Thank God. Thank God.
You said I don't shittily play the guitar, so now there you go. I proved you wrong.
You still don't
You got
get
There it
to
is.
play it.
I'm gonna finish that song. By the way, I'm gonna finish "White Man Stole My Land."
I want it to be played like during the opening of your debate.
Drag, go check your
That'd
Skype.
be like such a nice blues song. $30,000 home. White man took my land. Eating at Popeyes and talking shit on it, and it can be a rap song.
But MP, you gotta admit that you've noticed some of the behavior that he's mimicking from drag. Like, come on. You
Yeah, I
gotta
think they have some
notice it.
similarities, but I don't know. I think saying that he's mimicking drag is disrespectful to drag.
Well, it's not necessarily disrespectful to
Not like-
drag. If
Definitely
the individual we're
disrespectful, but
talking
just,
about is literally not clever enough to do anything original.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm not saying actually it's being disrespectful to drag. I'm just using that as sophistry.
Yeah, I just got a text message from my my classmate. He said grades are posted. Yeah, grades
failed.
posted. Not so hot on my side. I was like, oh shit.
Oh, go
Yeah,
check
drag.
that out.
Fucked up.
I used to
Fucked up.
hate when grades were posted.
Yeah, I made most of my money on that fucking second part. So looks like for exam 2 I got a 76. For this one I got a 73. Ugh. So it looks like
That's not bad.
yeah,
Is it on a curve or just straight up
it's gonna have to be to give you reference. On the last exam, the class average was a 55.
Holy fucking hell.
Just to let you know where I am in the class, in respect to the
Damn.
class.
So does that mean the class is hard or just all y'all motherfuckers dumb?
The latter.
I'm gonna go with the second one.
I can tell you right now, it's the latter. It's not incredibly difficult. It's just some of the concepts will fuck me. But when it comes to here's
Gently
a fucking
or raw.
like just raw.
Raw dog without a bag.
Yes.
Oh god damn it. This is why I joined the Hangout. Fuck me.
See, I'm a child. You knew this.
I did.
We
Drag-
will hide you
Drag,
forever,
add
Kevin.
Kevin. There we
God
go.
damn it. I
I
want
give you guys mods.
Cuck.
Hey, you can't
Now, don't
steal P's
Now,
word.
don't you go calling me by prudent nickname. He's not here.
I have never called him a cuck. Come on.
Why
You
not?
should.
Call him a wanker instead.
A wanker or a wonker?
I mean, it's more
Oh.
literal. He's not going to get a woman to cuckold him. He's got to get a woman first.
What's that? Step 1.
Step one, acquire woman.
Kevin, were you in that one hangout where he described his masturbation technique?
What?
What?
No.
Well,
No,
wait,
no, no,
wait,
no, no, no,
wait.
no, no. That was an Insomnia Shuffle. We were not talking about that.
What?
No, I wasn't going to
Nothing-
mention it.
nothing
I
over
just
here.
wanted to know if you remembered that.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna
You really
mention
think
it.
I
Proceeded
forgot
to mention it.
I made Drunk Bears cards about that hangout. I did not forget it. Trust me.
This is how you slowly trigger the impending sense of dread everybody's gonna feel in this room.
Okay, so since you
You know
mentioned
they
it,
gonna see this on the hangout.
oh man. Okay, so by the way, this is not a white person. This is a Nord. Okay, and he has dark
A
skin.
Nord.
This is a Nord. All right, and he is a mixed race. He's half Nord, half Redguard. That means he is the fucking Skyrim version of Creole, what I am. So fuck you. Go ahead.
But what are his pronouns?
That's a white man. That's a white man.
Hey,
No, it is
Drag-
not.
The
Drag-
white
yeah,
motherfucker.
so he's-
How dare you
No,
besmirch the
hold on.
white man?
Listen,
Sorry.
clearly he's not aware of
Drag,
YouTube
he looks kind of
past-
khaki.
Yes, he is. I'm khaki. You know what? He is me. Okay, he is
Passez
me.
pour le blanc.
He is you with white skin.
Je ne parle pas français.
Look, it is passeport le blanc. Okay, that's what it is.
Drag, darken the man's skin up a little bit if he's supposed to be black, because I got to take your black card if that's what you're walking around.
This is
Because
as
they
dark
are
as
black.
this is as dark as they let me make him. Like I couldn't make him any darker than this.
Listen, because then you get an
Dang.
unfair advantage during PvP if they can't fucking see you. Okay, so
Is
just
that
leave
a
it at that.
Chicago Cubs hat, MP?
Yeah, Chicago, baby.
Huh. Well, I mean, that's. I'll type some interesting stuff in the
Shut up, Sam.
side chat.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah.
Shit.
No,
Uh-oh.
it's interesting. Fun fact about Sam.
Interesting
Matter of fact, I just came from
Well, not
Chicago
about
like
me.
2 weeks
It has
ago.
nothing to do with me, but
Oh, I
it's
thought you were
someone
gonna
I
tell us
know.
all about your interesting Tinder dates from Chicago.
Yeah.
No, I
Those,
went.
hey, those are usually
I've
fun
only
stories.
been on one Tinder date in Chicago, and she's from New Orleans, and that's why I learned that girls from New Orleans are crazy.
Yep.
And
Who told you that?
then,
And that's where your policy
it,
don't stick your dick in crazy came from, yeah?
well,
Mm.
no, it came earlier, but hear me
Yeah.
out.
We hope it came earlier.
The L, which is the subway in Chicago, up near the stop near my parent, where my parents are in the suburbs,
Purple
that
line.
closes down at like 2 a.m. And I didn't want to pay for a cab. So I may have had sex with this girl because I didn't want to pay like a $20 cab.
So wait. Was the girl driving the cab and you had sex with her, or what did you do?
No, we were on a date earlier that night.
He didn't want to go home. He
So
didn't want to pay for
you just wanted to spend the night at someone's
around.
house.
Yeah, it works. Like say, like,
Okay.
look, ma'am, the
I'm
CIA
not
is after
proud
my
of myself. She was not a person I should have been sleeping with. She had a history of bar fights and owned a gun. But
I mean,
she didn't know where I lived, and I wanted to save $20.
I mean, that's what people put on their Tinder profile. I am a very interesting and charismatic human being. I own 26 guns. I am a very
I
people-friendly
like bar fights.
I am a very people-friendly person.
She was
Well,
from.
it's all about the pick. I don't give a fuck with the profile. If the pick is hot, then we may be all right.
No, you don't believe the fucking pic. You know all these goddamn Instagram filters and nonsense? You don't believe the picture.
No, you
Yeah,
can, but it's about the angle. So a fat chick will only take pictures of her face from an upward and diagonal angle.
Yeah,
I
she's
made
putting
that
the camera
mistake.
up her nostrils. You're right. She's putting the camera close so you can see up here and up her nose when we can't see
It's like
nobody.
an upper right or upper left, depending. Like if there's a clock right in front of her face and the pointer's on her nose. If she's taking a pic from either 10 o'clock or 2, no bueno. No bueno.
And yeah, but you gotta be
That girl
careful
is
because she
hiding
could
some arm rolls.
You put way too much thought into this.
No, I
picture,
mean,
you know,
I-
and
No,
this is fucking
Kevin,
true
Kevin.
stuff, man.
This is proven
all her
science.
pictures are
Trisha
like from these
Paytas
angles or different
did
days.
videos on it and explained how to set up a video camera and how to take perfect selfies.
Listen, if you ever go on my Instagram, you just see like fucking pictures of food and pictures of I don't give a fuck poses. That's how you know I'm not Tinder worthy. That's exactly how you know. Then you go on someone like Sam's Instagram, and then it's like, oh, okay, yeah, this is totally Tinder material.
Most of it is me just like training though, so I don't include
Exactly,
most of
that's
those
Tinder
photos.
material. That is very
I like-
Tinder material. Everybody wants.
Hey, why don't
everybody-
we have the picture of me standing next to the guy who is way more ripped and way better looking than me? Do you think I posted that photo of me next to I'll type his name in the side chat so you can Google
No,
him.
you hold on. Let me see who it is. I gotta
He's
see.
much better looking than I am.
Ah!
It's a picture of Sam next to me. Come on.
It's perfect. Listen, you're like the dude.
Maybe the more recent one where I'm next to the Brazilian gentleman who is like 5'4".
Yeah, there you go. That'd be worth
That one makes me look like I'm tall.
It's all about perspective. It's all perspective.
You see, you take a few bad ones, but then you get the real winners, like that one.
Are you creeping my Instagram right now? Anna?
I've always creeped your Instagram because you remind me
That's
that
a
I need to
great
go back to
photo.
training.
It's a great photo from the roulette in Soda
I didn't know we
Popinski's
had
in
one.
San
Oh, I found
Francisco.
it.
Yeah.
Find it all. Okay, what's on Sam's Instagram? What the fuck?
Oh, shit, I have an Instagram too, don't I? Dear, do I have an Instagram?
There's the one next to the human gorilla that is Dean Lister.
Oh yeah, I saw that one. I live vicariously. I train vicariously through your Instagram. I'm just letting you know that ahead of time.
I don't have that many photos of me training though.
I
I
have
have
to
a few.
ask Hold
But
on.
you're the
What
only
is it
person
about-
that I know of that actually does post photos, and they aren't some like fucking mocked up like, oh hey, look, I'm clearly giving this guy an arm bar. It's like,
What is
shut
up
the
with this
fuck up.
picture? The one I just put in the side
That
chat.
is not me. That is not
you.
my
I don't
Instagram
care.
account.
What are
What?
Are
you?
you sure?
What is, yeah,
What
I'm
the?
pretty
No,
sure.
that's not fun.
I'm pretty sure I'm not gay.
That has nothing to do.
Sam,
with
why are
being
you
gay.
wearing a rainbow horse costume?
Okay, that threw me because it says it's Super Sam with your last name, and the profile picture looked like you, so I assumed it was.
No.
That's the shirtless
No.
guy with the bow tie. The shirtless guy
Evan.
with the bow tie.
No,
I
that's not
I
me.
stand corrected.
That guy does not look like me at all. What?
And see,
That's
look,
like me
Evan.
if my mom fucked an Irish guy instead of my dad.
Irish?
Look at the picture.
Okay, well I stand corrected then. I'm sorry.
Okay, Kevin, you've met Sam in person, right?
Yeah,
you
I
can-
know. I
Does-
only
does-
looked at it
no.
for a second.
Kevin,
Does
Kevin,
he
you
have
can't
a
do this.
rainbow lightning bolt tattoo on his neck?
I didn't assume that person was someone else. I don't know.
Oh god.
Because the guy holding the drink has a rainbow lightning bolt tattoo on his neck and a glitter
Also,
unicorn
this
on his
person
arm.
is described on Instagram
Damn.
as super dork, hella vain, mildly endearing. When I describe myself using the word hella,
Yes.
Yes. Damn, that sounded like something you would say.
Okay, all right. When I met
Listen, the vein
Sam,
part
he
I would-
did
I would go with.
specify. He did
Hell-
uses
He
the
would.
word
He wouldn't
hella.
say hella
so-
vain, but he would say vain. Fuck me, I'm stuck in a fucking death loop. God, stupid fucking Warframe.
all right. Well, I think I've gotten enough coding done for the day.
Okay, good. Now you can help me fucking understand why I'm stuck in this fucking never-ending death cycle. Jesus Christ.
I can't
I
help
don't-
you with that.
Give
But
me moral
what I can say is, have you guys seen Michael Rappaport on Instagram? His quote
He
unquote
has
shame
an
game.
Instagram. He has an
Michael
Instagram.
Rappaport, not Andrew Rappaport. Michael.
No,
Rappaport.
Michael. Yeah, he has an Instagram.
The actor. Yeah,
Thought of
Oh,
Andrew
some of the-
Rappaport,
Yeah, I had no idea.
he is one of the best. Let me see if I can screen share one of his. He has some of the best rants.
I just want to point out that I don't.
Trump so much too, Michael Rappaport.
Huh?
I just want to point out I don't post pictures of myself on the internet because I don't want to intimidate people.
No.
You're beautiful, man. Cliff. Oh,
Cliff,
MP.
you
Look
are
in
a
the.
catch.
Can you look at the side chat?
He doesn't want to intimidate people, and he's confident because when he does go on camera, he has that blank green screen behind him, which that can
MP
be tempting to
laughed.
somebody.
I was gonna write something for MP.
Then
Oy
you look
vey.
better.
Oh, he's back.
Oy vey.
Did you guys know that I got a 6-pack? I just haven't got the plastic thing that holds it all together.
This guy's got jokes. All right. Can I ask a question?
Yes,
I
you
realize
may.
this has already been,
Ask the question.
this has probably already been talked about, but what kind of porn did Nephie get bombed with? I
It
wasn't
Great.
watching.
Core,
Surprisingly.
honestly. It was soft core. There was nothing.
It was
It
vanilla.
was not soft corner.
Dude,
I
they-
definitely saw some vagina there.
No, you did not.
There was definitely some full
Well,
penetration.
No, you-
softcore relative to what Nephie typically watches Jackie stop licking me, you bitch. Yeah, that's very
You
funny.
gotta rate your porn better.
Canadian.
You are
Ow!
in a hangout and you could be having sex right now. Well, so could I, but I'm trying to avoid this girl.
Sam
So
said I could be having sex right now. Why am I here? See, look what I have to put up with. Look at this. Rum.
You could be,
No.
but you're
So
not.
wait, so
No.
Jackie, what does Kevin taste like?
I,
Send me
we
the
don't know.
Headless.
Hangout.
Headless asked what I taste like.
Dude,
Skin.
Skin. Here's the hangout link. Go away.
Okay.
Very
No,
fair.
don't let me go away.
no MP, I don't get any free games.
You
For
see,
that.
I'm
He's not-
confused by the context.
He's not that Jewish MP.
Hey, I've been on J-Date before.
Hold on, Kevin.
Fuck
Kevin,
is
Oh,
hold on,
there's a
hold on.
section.
Sam
No, you gotta
had
get your
sex with a
Jewish girl.
woman
They love
to
it.
save paying $20 for a cab ride home.
What?
Well, that's
What's
because
wrong with
listen,
that?
just because he's ingenious, he can get game and find a place to sleep. Okay, don't hate on him.
Hey Sam, if you were a woman, we'd be calling you a slut right now. We'd be like, you're such a slut.
I know this
Yeah,
fucking
but
this
it's
You
culture,
awesome.
give it
I
up
get
for
high
20
fives
bucks.
instead.
this culture, man. Fuck you, fuck you and your white male privilege. Fuck.
Hmm.
God, son of a fucking death cycle. God damn it.
See, because here's the difference, MP. Here's the difference why I'm not a slut. What I did took skill.
Oh, really? It took skill to sleep with the girl who was desperate?
Look, the girl that I had posted with the pretty eyes on X videos, or excuse me, Pornhub, she has skill now. She just has a different kind of skill.
Sorry, can I just get a clarification? This person who was desperate, it wasn't Shelly, was it?
No. Why?
Wait, what are you
Oh
talking
God,
about?
Sam. Oh God. Oh.
Uh,
Oh, that's so
who's
cringy.
desperate for what now?
It suggested that Sam slept with Shannon.
Why would I ever?
Ew.
I like myself.
Why the fuck would Sam need to stoop that low?
You ever throw a hot
Hey,
dog down a
listen,
hallway?
if ever Tinder, he runs into a Tinder dry spell.
If Sam wanted to hit up a fat chick, he could get one that doesn't have a completely toxic personality.
Why would I want to sleep with a fat chick?
Wouldn't. I didn't say that. I'm just saying if he
Don't
did,
hate
like
on the horizontal.
Shanny, come on, Shanny.
I'm not saying I get with supermodels. I'm also not saying I get with girls the size of Shanny.
Exactly. I mean,
No,
calling
unless
Shanny a fat chick is kind of insulting to fat chicks. Just saying.
Well, it's like when she drinks the Captain Morgan's a bit too much. She does get very full of herself. Probably about up to the knuckles.
You're horrible.
So bad though.
Oh God!
Taking a dick well takes skill.
Oh man,
Don't
that's
forget to breathe, drag. Come on.
No.
oh, wow.
Fucking hell, this is so bad.
That's too much. That was a good one, Nicola. I have not.
Deserves it.
Oh man. But the one redeeming quality, she'll laugh at herself. She'll laugh at that joke.
MP, have you been down to Wrigley to watch a Cubs game?
I have watched a Cubs game.
Wrigley's fun. That's a fun neighborhood. Although they're making it like way more commercialized now.
Yes, it
Which
is.
is unfortunate.
What's that stadium called? The one in South Loop. They opened it up like right next to the new apartment buildings near the shitty neighborhood.
Wait,
Which
you
one?
mean where
US
Sox
Cellular?
play? That's
Fuck,
US
I died.
Cellular.
No.
Also known as Comiskey Park, which is its real
West.
name.
It is
Fuck
West.
you.
No, it's US Cellular.
No, it's West something. Oh,
You're
God
talking
damn it.
about something that I don't know then.
Yeah, they built
What?
a parking garage right across from it too, right near
Wait,
my
you don't
friend's
mean
apartment is right there.
Bears Stadium? Is it a
No,
minor
not
league
Bears.
stadium or something else like that that no one
No,
knows
it's like
about?
a concert. It's like a concert stadium type.
Not
No,
Rosemont, obviously.
No.
Concert.
It's like
I can't think of. I haven't.
That's
I've
the
been to most
Allstate
of the
State
major.
Arena now, Sam.
Yeah, I've been to most major stadiums for any event in Chicago. So I'm trying to think. It's obviously not the
maybe- I
Chicago
haven't-
Theater or the Vic.
Well,
No.
she said South Side.
Yeah, because
I'm trying to remember the name.
I also don't go to the South Side often
You know where
because
the
I'm
Lex
very
is?
white.
You know where the Lex is?
Huh?
The Lex?
What's that?
No, I don't know where that is.
It's like one of the taller apartment buildings by the South Loop. It's like right on the edge where all the apartment buildings are. Like anything past that building is just straight like normal houses, like 1-2 family. I'm trying to think what was the fucking name of it. Ugh, it's gonna bother
I
me.
grew up in Chicago, and I don't know why I've never heard of most of this shit.
It's gonna bother me. Jesus, I only go to Chicago like 2-3 times a year, so I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, you go to Chicago as much as I do. Also, I'm going to be in New York in a month.
Ooh, let me know. Hopefully I won't be in Bosnia, but I'll definitely take you out.
How to get Bosnian chick to like me?
Oh my god.
Is my cat male cat?
Is my male? Is my cat?
How is Bebby formed?
How girl get pregnant?
How my girl get
How to become
braggers?
Hokage in real life.
That's
How
one of my
to-
favorite videos. Is the guy looking at all the posts about how am I pregnant video.
Oh,
People misspelling pregnant.
How girl get pregnant?
Pregante.
They
Am
need
I pregante?
Pregante. Pregnant.
Or if you're G-Man, how to convert people to Jesus.
how to convert Bosnian girl to love Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
Which is
how to
doubly
get
offensive
that
if you
white
know anything
pussy.
about Bosnian history.
Oh,
I know. Yeah, totally. Actually.
Drag, I have photos to send you. Well, specifically one photo.
Is she hot?
I will let you decide that.
Cool. Mrs. Drag is sitting right here too, so she'll give her
She'll weigh
piece.
He knows.
Also, whenever I send photos to Drag and his wife helps evaluate, I call it throwing it to the black jury. They
We're
come
fair and
down hard
impartial.
on the verdict. They're very impartial.
Oh, okay. She's nerdy. Yeah. She
And
reminds
she
me of
made
somebody.
that costume herself.
Oh, okay. Points for that. Yeah, that's not bad. She made it herself. I think she's pretty cute. First thing you go to
Not
is name.
bad.
I didn't even see the name. I'm gonna be serious. I'm not even. What is her name? I mean, find that out later. But you know, Alyssa. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure she has a nice personality, but I'm trying to like evaluate her. Okay.
Why is your wife biased?
She's biased because she's Hispanic. That's really what it is. My wife has a thing for Hispanic women.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know the fit girl earlier. Well, I can say earlier.
She has
earlier
not
movie.
responded.
Oh.
She was responding early.
I'm just saying. I mean, that's
No tea, no shade.
what you didn't like the fit girl too much.
No.
Why?
Really?
Or into fit girls.
Me? What? She can take a pounding. I'm sorry. Like I just.
Oh.
Like if you want to be honest, like that's really what it was.
I'm not
the
mad
sound
at
of Greg getting slapped.
I feel like we're gonna be party to a
me,
slapping right now.
One does not simply slap the Dragnot.
What? That's not a
It was just a couple
requirement.
days ago that during a live hangout we got to hear Dragnot get slapped for something, and it wasn't even that bad.
She's violent. Like she's very violent.
See, when he
Yeah,
does
Kevin,
something
if you want to be
horrible-
included on these messages, you just let me know.
Oh, sure, go right ahead. Jackie's biased. She'll give her opinion.
What?
Sam's offering to send me pictures. What kind of pictures Sam sends, right? The ladies.
Oh.
Random Tinder matches I have.
Random Tinder matches. Jackie says,
so
"Yeah,
Sam,
I'd like to
what's-
see that."
What's the costume she made?
Wonder Woman.
Ooh, pretty hot.
Points for the costume definitely. But there's a fit girl in my chemistry class, and her and her significant other are bodybuilders, and she's a pog like that. I'm not gonna lie.
What's a pog?
Fat ass white
I
girl.
watch enough porn, sir.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Me.
No, she's.
I wish I just had that.
Is this the class that everybody's failing?
Yes, actually, yeah, it is. It is the chemistry course, actually.
Oopsie. Where did you go? Oh.
Sharp turning point where like you go from fit chick into like, oh, she's got shoulders for days. I don't know about this.
Yeah, she has she doesn't have like the overly masculine figure. It complements her. Like her fitness complements her frame, and it doesn't look grotesque. And Yeah, I mean, she was very gracious with showing us some of her workout photos with, and her significant other is like 50 something years old. He's in, and he doesn't look it like at all. So I was like, kudos,
Kevin,
kudos, and
thoughts?
keep wearing those leggings.
Yeah, let me see. I'll send you a picture of one of my his girl, because his girl's like at the edge of that for me.
Mm.
This is the type of dude where he was upset that his girlfriend was doing CrossFit.
Why? Because she was too masculine?
He doesn't like CrossFit. He's a strength and conditioning coach.
Oh, okay. Oh, he's just biased. Oh, okay. Not a big deal.
So, hey, Drake, since you're doing so bad in the chemistry class, do you think it's worth turning up to this debate with true empiricism? Because after all, you pretty much lost already. He's already decided that.
Oh, yeah. Him and G-Man have already, are calling for the... Well, I'm in the denial phase right now, evidently, or something like that. Yeah. Actually, I'm in it.
Yeah.
Have you made your PowerPoint yet?
No, I'm not even going to work on it until after this semester. I'm not even going to bother with it, honestly.
Oh, okay. Just gonna say, if you make a PowerPoint, careful. That's cheating.
Yeah, but supposedly someone said that he was going to make up a presentation this time, so we'll see. He said that last time.
Are we going to put money on that?
No, I would be severely surprised if he legitimately sat down, thought about how to turn his assertion into an argument, and then put it in PowerPoint form. I don't see it happening, but that's just me.
Well, to be fair, his assertion is in an argument form. It's not an abductive argument, and it's not a deductive argument like he's claimed in the past.
Fair enough. Yeah, I actually made a video earlier like why it's not an abductive argument, and because I know that there is like a logical form that abductive arguments are supposed to follow, but I don't think that he knows that. So, yeah.
Well, there's no predictive expectation from intelligent design, so you can't have abduction without a predictive expectation.
Oh yeah, you can. You remember he said it in his last hangout or his last debate, cause and effect.
Yep. He doesn't have to prove anything. He doesn't have to test anything because it's already been done and cause and effect.
There you go. That's all it is.
Well, I remember when we were listening to that and I was writing down his points, and for his opening statement, his only point was cause and effect. I was like, all right. Because, I'll level with you. I've said this on record. I thought Steve did a dog shit job during that debate. He did okay, but I don't think he got really into detail for as much preparation as he did. But
which one? The one with Ronnie or the one with G-Man that he didn't give a shit about?
The one with Ronnie.
Saw that.
But Ronnie did so bad.
It's Ronnie. Anybody could beat Ronnie.
I mean, literally.
Yeah.
Hold on, Kevin. Can Ronnie beat Ronnie?
Jesus, I don't know. Can we call him? No, let's not.
Wait.
You said Ronnie anybody can beat Ronnie.
That's a good question.
What about Ronnie versus
and I don't
Renisha? Like Ronnie versus when he puts on that lip gloss. They're two different characters.
Oh, you mean Veronica, or is that a different person?
No. I think we're calling her Ronisha, right? Drag is Ronisha better?
I am terrified.
Yes. I have a cousin named Renisha.
You would.
Yes, I do have. Yes, and she is exactly what you think she is. So yeah.
Also, Kevin, I still have not received your thoughts.
I was away from keyboard for a second. What thoughts on what?
Check your Facebook.
Oh, Facebook.
Look at Peter's.
I don't always have that open. Hey.
Oh, speaking of Facebook, I got unfriended by an anti-vaxxer today.
Yes.
Yay!
Good job. Tell him.
Well, basically, what happened was I posted like a pro-science post, and it's a list of things that science is proving, and one thing on the list was vaccines work. And she made a comment, something like, some of these are debatable. And because I know she has a history of being anti-vax, to be fair, you have to admit that the vaccines work for those diseases, regardless of, whether or not you believe they have harmful side effects. And then some of my other friends joined in and said stuff like, oh, I can't believe you're anti-vax, how horrible. And then I said something very reasonable, saying like, I understand misconceptions. You weren't around a time when the diseases were running rampant. And then she was like, oh, wow, this is funny. Okay, I'm going. And she unfriended me. Yeah.
Yeah, Heike kind of jumped on her, among a few other people, but
she does that.
This girl is completely whack out, crazy Christian anti-science, every kind of anti-science you could imagine. Don't know about flat Earth, but
yeah, you'll get there. But that's part of me. Oh God, don't tell me that. Like, and a part of me actually gets a little bit overjoyed when Heike like jumps on people like that on Facebook. I go, yeah, it's about to happen. It's going down. But like shit like that really bothers me, especially people with kids. And it's like, I'm just trying to protect my
probably
kids.
saying, no, my kid is unvaccinated and never will be vaccinated, and blah, 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 blah. Please don't ever reproduce.
Yeah, no, in Texas, you no vaccine, no schoolie. So they can say that all they want.
Yeah, they just did California, and all the liberals got the ultra far left hippies got super pissed off about it.
How many of you seen the? How many of you seen the Hangout I had a couple of years back with Fiona, and we were talking to a guy called Brian Deere, who was the guy that blew the lid off that whole Andrew Wakefield study.
That's an old Hangout.
Yeah, it's an old Hangout, but it has had very little traction. Hardly anybody has ever seen it, which is depressing because it goes through the history. Because they all cling on this idea that Andrew Wakefield is great, and he explains how it's all a mess, and then you realize that the guy was full of shit and paid by lawyers. I mean, just to give you an idea, as an analogy, when you get the ambulance chasers, effectively imagine the ambulance chasers paid a guy to go ramming people off the road. That would be an analogy for this.
Yeah,
people still cite him.
I heard Andrew Wakefield's name. The only time I heard it in real life was from a nurse in the microbiology class that I was taking back in Maryland, because he was anti-vax. How a nurse is anti-vax beats the fuck out of me. But you know what? He was convinced that Wakefield's research was legit. And
wait a minute.
To
work in a hospital as a nurse, or just to work in a hospital in general, don't you have to get a lot of vaccinations?
Funny you mentioned that. There was recently a story I read where a bunch of nurses in Iowa got in trouble because they changed their rules, saying if you are not vaccinated, you need to submit medical documentation for why you can't be. Otherwise, you're going to lose your job. And about 70 nurses lost their job.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because it's not that you pick stuff up; it's you also spread stuff to other people.
And as a nurse, they should understand that. And I say should, but they don't, because it's like, if you're a nurse, you're in direct contact with the most at risk, the really old, the really young, and people who are immunocompromised. So you don't get the luxury of saying, well, it's my health, because then you become a fucking carrier. You become a fucking human vector of sorts, by dealing with other patients, who may have something. So it's stupid when you look at the health risks versus the reason why they think that they should not protect their own fucking health. And it's like, okay, thank you for contributing to the problem overall.
I mean, the difficulty, I think it's a modern problem where, you talk to people like Jade, and they'll say, that when they were kids, there were people that got sick and kids that died, and she got sick, herself. Jade did. But we live in a century, and everything from about the 60s onwards, really, where so many people are vaccinated that people didn't get sick, and so there isn't that knowledge of people who had rickets.
Yeah,
And-
most of the diseases that are vaccinated against now, most being like the really horrible ones. The only major exception is the common flu. I mean, I haven't gotten a flu vaccine, but that's a little bit different than some of these other ones.
That's the constant.
I got the flu vaccine yesterday, and I'm starting to feel autistic today.
Sam, that's just normal. That's just your personality.
That's just me. Oh, well, no, it was.
Yeah,
it was like, listen, we'll give it to you for free. It's this and this. You have allergy-induced asthma, so this is
I don't
a good
come
idea.
in contact with a lot of people. Interesting. I haven't gotten the flu for years, like since high school. I don't come in contact with a lot of people generally, and I never got the flu vaccine. Then I got the flu last year when we both worked at the stupid ski resort. We both got it.
It's definitely a function of how many.
Ding, 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 ding. Oh yeah, totally.
And one of my best friends is
Now,
a school teacher, so that.
Now, if it was communicable through the internet, I might have a problem.
Yeah, internet virus is a different thing.
But I mean, I'm going back to college in the spring, so I might maybe want to get it.
Yeah, I think they might make you.
Blue one? I don't think so.
They don't? Okay. I don't
think so.
I have all the other ones, like the ones you get when you're younger. So.
Right. Oh, they get the primary ones, yeah. Because I haven't gotten the flu one this year. I got it last year because I got it through my job. But I think businesses and businesses are making it real easy nowadays to have access to it. Because it used to be kind of just a doctor thing, but no, just good. I like it. Trying to fucking. After this, I'm just gonna call it. I'm gonna go to sleep because I studied for my fucking. I studied for this federal government class last time, and I got when I did study for the first exam rather, I got a 95. I didn't study, I got a 93. So I'm not gonna waste my fucking time. It's cumulative. He spends most of the class, like it's a really liberal class, so he spends it talking about really liberal things all the fucking time. What do you hit me with? What are you doing? What are you doing? Hello? Oh. Yeah, everybody go quiet?
No.
Oh, I would like to say no one's saying shit. Y'all see me getting assaulted here by Mrs. Drag. No one said, "Hey, stop it! I'm calling the police." What are you doing?
You can take it.
What is that? What are you hitting me with?
I think we had
What is
that
that?
discussion once when I presented my dilemma.
What?
Oh,
What's your
yeah.
dilemma?
The spouse abuse between him and his boyfriend.
Yeah.
That's just dudes figuring shit out.
Yeah.
There was an actual time when my boyfriend and I were sparring, and somebody phoned the police because they thought there was domestic violence going on.
Sparring?
Yeah.
Back
And
in
the
my day,
cops showed up. It started off with we were both drunk. We came home from the bar and we were arguing about which is better, eskrima or ninjutsu, and that escalated us into fighting. Yeah, and the cops showed up, and the cops were visibly uncomfortable by this because they show up to a domestic violence report, and two guys answer the door, and it was no, we were fighting. Which basically was foreplay, but
is that what you said to them?
No, that wasn't what they said, and they didn't ask the question Drake was going to ask. How do you assign blame in that situation?
Whoever is the manlier dude.
Yeah. Dreg said, "Who's the top and who's the bottom?"
Is that what I said?
That's what Dave Chappelle said.
That's probably who I got it from. Yeah, no, actually, no, that was who I got it from because it's in his new fucking comedy. Oh God.
It was like it was really funny to watch because they were wondering about that. You think that's what they were wondering, like, okay, who's the bottom at this relationship? These guys are both equally sort of look as fit as one another, roughly the same height. And they didn't know where to go with that, and they weren't going to ask that question because that's too weird.
I asked my little brother, because my wife was curious, and just to take away her curiosity, I was like, so, yeah, there's a conversation that happened, and we're wondering if you were top or bottom. Oh, he said, no, I'm on the top. I was like, oh, okay, I kind of figured as much. Yeah, you don't seem like the type. Yeah, okay. So now I know.
Like, if I'm gonna fuck a dude, I'm gonna fuck a dude.
Yeah,
how do you even respond to that?
Like nothing surprises me anymore. So I'm like, I've kind of fucked up that I didn't know that my little brother was gay until he put it on Facebook. But I kind of figured he would be a top. So.
Well, apparently it's only gay if it hurts.
Yes. It's not gay if you don't look him in the eye.
And no kissing on the mouth.
No. You can penis joust, but you can't look him in the eye.
Penis joust.
Pretty sure that's called docking. If anybody looks that up in Urban Dictionary.
I told my drill sergeants about docking, and then he went around pestering the other drill sergeants, asking what they wanted to dock. None of them knew what it was. None of them would accept his offer.
Why would you do that to them, Drag?
Because he was fucked up. And then because he was a fucked up individual. So I said, okay, I'll just add to the fun. Good times. Good times.
I wonder how people like that are limited to their egos and not knowing something. It's like, oh, I can't admit that I don't know something, so I'll just have to make up with it in bluster. The G-Man approach.
Point counterpoint, man. Point counterpoint. So you got to focus on.
I don't know. Yeah. G-Man's been arguing with me lately that sexual reproduction is intelligent design again.
Oh, like a man's G-spot in his fucking ass?
Does G-Man like it in the prostate? What?
He is a G. Man.
Ah! G-Man!
See what you did there.
Sexual reproduction is intelligent design. Give me a...
Yeah, well, then how was he made?
How the hell did two dumb people make babies?
It happens, okay? Look, it happened to my cousin. You know what? A guy came, tripped, fell in her vagina, okay? It happens all the time.
I'm thinking about making a flat Earth video. Because, there's that guy that's going to launch a rocket.
The one this weekend?
The flat Earth guy.
This weekend? Maybe I should. Yeah. Maybe I should make it.
Didn't the BLM shut him down?
Yeah, well, it's basic BLM, really.
Yeah, Bureau of Land Management. They basically own most of the Mojave Desert where he was going to do it. They were like, "Yeah, we're not really cool with this."
All right, sorry. I thought it was Black Lives Matter for a second. It's like, what, really?
BLM.
Yeah.
No, that would be pretty funny.
Yeah. Anyway, so the video will be going somewhere along like it's one of those on the case things that I do every now and again, like a little weird rant. But I'm thinking about not scripting it and just opening my mouth and letting words fall out because the argument is coherent enough. And it basically comes down to the guy is going 1,800 feet into the air which is nothing. As in, there are buildings. You know, that the tallest building in the world is 2,200 feet tall. The one.
Yeah, you can't see the curvature of that.
Has this guy ever heard of planes?
Yeah, well, this is, funnily enough, this is exactly
Yeah, well,
the point.
Hold on.
Listen. The windows, I want to explain
are
this.
in on the conspiracy. So you
Or
have to build your
windows
own
on
rocket.
planes. The windows on planes are actually monitors. They're LCD screens. They have cameras on the outside, but they edit out.
I'm sorry. I just had the perfect idea though. He could get a hot air balloon, no windows at all, just a basket.
Ooh, but wait, the people who sell you the hot air balloons are in on the conspiracy. There's a reality distortion field around them.
Yeah,
that adds
caused
the
by the gas burner and the shape of the balloon.
It's diffraction. It's atmospheric diffraction.
Yeah.
Can't trust that.
Put way too much.
But what I find neat though is if what is depicted in the picture, the rocket that he stands by, if that is in fact the rocket he's going to fly,
it was.
You really should go talk to NASA because he's figured out how to pop rivet his stabilizer fins on.
Well,
NASA would be
his idea of a rocket was
because that could save hundreds of dollars on fake
He's
rockets.
expecting it to fall apart though, because what he does is he parachutes it out. He parachutes out of it.
Oh, that's
like according to the stories I read about this guy, he has done something similar before. Like he's not a complete scam artist. He knows what he's doing to some extent.
So his plan is to like jump out with a parachute.
Here, let me see if I can find Flat Earther Mojave Desert rocket.
Did he do like experiments with those toy rockets and a hamster?
Texas.
He already launched himself in one.
Yeah, he already. That's what I was saying. He already did. Here's the article.
Somebody convinced him to go higher. Maybe he, hurt himself permanently.
I think we should give him as much money as we can. To hell with sending him into space. Let's see if we can get him into the sun.
I think that his landing plan should be to have all the other flat earthers just try to catch him.
The ultimate trust fall.
Once I think that would just solve a lot of problems.
Once suborbital and eventually orbital flights become like a tourist thing that middle class people can afford, like a cruise, which is going to happen eventually. I think we need to get fundraisers together to get one just for the sake of flat earthers, so we can take there as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Like give them the ride of a lifetime, and they can all see that the Earth is curved, and then come down to Earth, and then all their dumbass flat Earth buddies will call them shills. Out. We know that would happen.
Oh, speaking of, who's read debating earlier today? Because I was in a library and I never catch the guy's name.
Truth Guy, Truth Seeker, or something like that. I don't know. I didn't watch it.
Truth Solid.
No, that's the guy I was fucking talking to the other day. Yeah, that's an idiot.
Well, anyway, the point about the video I want to make is I'm gonna basically go to Flight Radar 24, which is one of these things where you can monitor the air traffic control. But these things, they're not controlled by the government. What effectively happens is you can buy this radio receiver box with a USB plug on it. You plug an aerial into it, you plug it in your computer, and what it does is it receives the transponder signals from the aeroplanes and sends it to the internet.
Radio. Yeah, I have one. They're awesome.
Yeah.
Kevin, why am I not surprised?
And so what they do is they basically tell one of these companies, they take these bits of data and it gives them the course, altitude, and speed, and it tells them where they're going.
That's how sites like Flight Radar 24
that's exactly
have.
And do you know what the flat earther will say to that?
What?
It's all CGI.
Yeah, it's all CGI.
Wait a second. Hold on. If this guy's going to fly his little homemade rocket, he would need a transponder.
What he calls a rocket is like 200 fireworks duct taped together.
That doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
I'm not sure you do at that altitude. You're not going very high. I don't think helicopters have to have them at certain heights. But anyway, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show a bit of this Flight Radar 24, and show a plane in its last maybe 3 or 4 minutes before it comes in and land, because they're flying at about 4,000 feet. So twice the height of this guy's going to go. And if you've ever been on a plane, you look out the windows, you're about to come into land, and you look at the scenery, you can't tell the Earth is round from that altitude. When you're at 40,000 feet, you can just about make out the curve. Just about. But at 4,000 feet, you can't. And this guy isn't going to go going over that. So effectively, the guy is going to prove himself right, which is the the intelligent design argument. It appears to be flat, so it must be flat.
Okay, all right. I've been having to think about this for the last couple of days.
Flat Earth Society.
And it's a new way to fuck with flat earthers. Okay. The Earth is not a ball. It's a dodecahedron. See, it's the facet of the dodecahedron that appears flat. That's why the Earth appears flat. It's as most people don't go very far from home, so they really never get off of that facet.
Yeah, you know the Rocky Mountains. That's one of the lines. It's just they put the mountains over it to make it. You can't realize see it.
The Earth is actually this three-dimensional shape. It's just got flat sides going all around.
It's a 12-sided die. It's actually a 12-sided die.
No, dodeca would be 20.
It's 12. Icosahedron.
Yeah.
Fine, we'll go with icosahedron then, because there's more sides. Fine, it's an icosahedron then, right? So it's got the 20 sides to it. They're all flat planes. It works the same as a dodecahedron, anyways.
Question is, does God play dice?
He plays D&D.
Yeah.
Plays with your lives. On that note, folks, I'm gonna head to bed. I got Dolo, the whatever the fuck his name is, guy, sending me messages. His buddies are sending me messages, and they're funny.
Dolo the pilot man.
Dodo the pilot man. It's Dodo pilot man for show. So I've been going on his I went on one of his videos and I started fucking with some of his guys, and they're easy to troll. Like, they're incredibly easy to troll.
Like, I was very tempted to troll them, just going over and saying that they can't presuppose astrology without presupposing oceanography.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
How else are you going to get the Pacific definition?
Like, you can say anything as long as it's somewhat in I guess descent from his retardation, and they will go nuts, absolutely nuts. So I'm not saying go do it. I'm just saying it'd be fun.
I've already been doing it, except I've not been very kind about it.
It's fucking hilarious. On that note, I will see you all later. Thanks for the folks who showed up. Steve did find the porn bomber, supposedly, and he's been taken care of. So he's probably made a post or two about that. So I will see you guys later.